The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome. We're back with another Square Ball update, which you can find in your podcast app. You will find it on YouTube as well. It's Dan here with Michael, with Dean, in a show that is brought to you by our favourite firm of solicitors in the whole universe, the whole wide world. It's Levi Solicitors.
Damn right. It's sadly, it's not Update Your Will Week anymore.
How did you get on with that? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it's just week-long celebrations, really.
Wills this, wills that.
Wills that. Well, it's not long till National Conveyancing Week, though.
When's that?
That's the 17th to the 21st of March.
I knew that. I was just testing if you had it in your diary.
It's just a big party, isn't it, in March?
Why do they bunch everything together?
I don't know. I don't know when probate gets its turn. Maybe that's week after.
Let me have a look. National...
They probably would lump that in with the wills, I'd
National
say.
Probate Week.
It's a big one.
National Probate Week.
Not a thing?
Not a thing. No.
Let's start it.
But if you've got probate stuff that needs someone to probate for you, Levi Solicitors.
Yeah. And what's the good thing about going through us, or just
10% discount
on your legal fees?
Correct.
Full details and terms are on the website, and you can find the link in the episode description as well. And yeah, I think is that done that?
That's done yet?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Usual high professional standards.
You're very welcome.
Good. Right. Square Ball update. Let's update things from a Square Ball perspective then. What have we got to talk about this week? It's Tuesday as we speak. The Tuesday games have obviously not been played yet. I'd even forgotten they were going on.
No, you hadn't.
I had. Do you know what? I genuinely had this morning. I'm over it already.
Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of hoping for something to come out of tonight, because I've been trying to find propaganda the last couple of days and slim pickings.
Right.
I tell you. Searching for crumbs of comfort in a week in which the teams around us won, we lost, Scum got a good result. Even like Leicester didn't get disgrace themselves. So, I mean, what to do? It's tough stuff, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm hoping for something like exciting to happen tonight to at least cause a slight meltdown somewhere else. But might just be a 6-minute show. Otherwise, just a Levi's read, and then let's speak to you after Millwall, I suppose.
Challenging weeks like this, aren't they? But how are you feeling, Dean? Because you are generally quite sunny in your disposition about Leeds United. I'm not sure why, but you are.
I still feel fine. I think, like I said on the match ball on Sunday, I think if you play that game again, Peru comes up with at least one of those finishes. Firpo in his new lease of life as a centre forward scores either the header or when he goes clean through. I think it's just one of those Champo games, and I think they were always going to happen. Me and Michael were talking before about the Portsmouth game, and I'm kind of seeing it as the Cardiff game when we came back from when football restarted in the Bielsa season. It happened, we got beat, everyone panicked, but everything was fine thereafter. That's what I am going to frame this as for myself until something happens on Wednesday to correct me. But I don't think it will. I think we'll beat those boys.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think it's a case of holding your nerve for as long as you can. Everybody has a slightly different threshold as to where they will snap or descend into mental torture. I think I'm mostly all right with it. Mostly so far. But if Wednesday goes awry and we finish this midweek in like third place, I think all bets are off.
By the time people are listening to this, it could be the case that Sheffield United and Burnley have both lost, and we go into that Millwall game thinking, right, get ourselves back on track here. It's all going to be fine. And then we go into the weekend with a cushion again, thinking, well, QPR, bad place for us to go over the years, but we'll still be in the top two. Or, something else might have happened.
And Chris Wilder, for all that we complain about him or cast him as the pantomime villain, he said something along the lines of, about the Leeds result, the championship's going to championship. There's going to be plenty more game weeks where
when did he say that?
happen.
In his press conference?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
So, he's not, I'm putting loads of words in his mouth, by the way, because I don't have the quotes.
Just paraphrase it.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah.
He didn't see this as Leeds falling apart. It's like, that's the championship. And so if that can happen to us, it will happen to those guys.
They lost 3-0 at home to Hull recently.
But I was trying to make this point on the match ball. 4 games we've lost this season, which is remarkable. All 4 games we've lost 1-0.
Did Leicester lose 10 last season?
Yeah.
Right.
When Newcastle destroyed the league a few years ago and everyone's like, this is the best championship team there's ever been, they lost 10 games. We're doing really, really well. All 4 games, we've lost by a single goal. Replay any of those games, we could win those games. Michael's smirking. He doesn't believe me.
I think the issue is possibly that Burnley have lost 2.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
How many have Sheffield United lost at this point? 6. All right,
6.
which is more normal, I think.
But not getting the draws, are they?
But I was going to say, yeah, that it's that. Do you know what? Defeats are actually not too bad in the Championship as long as you win most of the rest. Because we've said loads of times before, the famous Warnockism is it's the draws that kill you in the Championship, and that's effectively what's keeping Burnley behind us now.
I think you being on the match ball is a bit of a problem, Dean.
I said this at the time.
Yeah, you did.
Did you? I've not listened to it because it upset me too much.
We're just playing the man here, not the ball.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you were definitely here for Blackburn, weren't you?
Yep.
You were here for this.
Hull away.
Yeah.
We sort of summarised that he's fine when he's sat in my chair. So if I'm not here, 7-0.
And season before, 3-1 at home against Hull. Win.
But
who was here for Sunderland? Because I wasn't here for that one either.
Somebody else.
All right, wasn't you?
That wasn't me. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. That's not on me.
Okay, fine.
It's a Chris and Rob then. All right. We do so many, I just forget who's sat where.
Same.
Yeah, and who's said what.
I've only missed 2 this year though, and they've both been quite upsetting. So I've done pretty well actually to get dodge the Sunderland and
are you the problem?
Portsmouth games. Yeah, fine. So I'm happy to be. It's been said before.
In the local press.
Enough about your home life. back to the football. Yeah, I mean, we did speak about the midweek fixtures to a certain extent with the show with Bryn Law, so we probably don't need to retread that too much. But what I will do is offer you a crumb of comfort by saying, and credit should go to Big Jim Slade, who is remarkably level-headed. He's a bloke on Wacko, who's posted that in the last 6 games in which we have got 13 points from 18, we have faced opponents who have an average points per game of 1.74, whereas Burnley's last 6, they've faced opponents.
Damn, this is average league position again.
No, it's not. It's not. What it's pointing out is that our opponents in the last 6 have been far more difficult than, say, what Burnley have faced. So Burnley have got 16 points. They've won 5 and drawn 1 against opponents who have netted a little over 1 point per game. They've played vastly inferior teams over the last 6 games. We've played more difficult teams over the last 6 games. So it stands to reason that we're going to get a slightly lower points total. And they've outscored us by 3 over the last 6 games. So there is a reason for the gap having closed over the last 6 games. There is also a reason why, hopefully, if all goes to plan, which we know it will do.
It feels like a grasp.
What? By pointing out that they've had an easier run in the last 6 than we have?
Well, but it depends if you're going to look at the last 6 or the last 2, because you could choose to do that.
Right, well,
which point?
I'm buying this from Dan this time.
All right, fine.
But
I'm buying it.
Let me put this to you. And I know it is average positions, all be it
average points is the same as average positions, more or less.
In a slightly, actually, do you know, average points might be a better way to work this out, because then I won't have to update the spreadsheet as much. But so Burnley's next 4, West Brom in 6th, Swansea in 15th, but they're away. They've got Bristol City are in 7th, and then Coventry are in 5th. So you're playing 3 playoff contenders in the next 4 for Burnley. So they've had a much easier run in the short term than we have. Okay. And then hopefully we just correct course on Wednesday, starting on Wednesday against Millwall. And then we play Millwall 12th, QPR 14th, Swansea 15th, Luton 23rd. Easy.
The thing that I keep coming back to, right?
I don't mean that, by the way.
But the thing I keep coming back to is, would I exchange our league position with anyone else? No. Would I exchange our running, the fixtures, with anybody else? No. Would I exchange our squad with anybody else? No. So I have to feel positive.
I like you, Dean. Those are good words.
Thank you.
And I think if you transplant any of those things to a different club, you've got a recipe for a promotion by 10 points. I don't think there's even an issue there.
I was waiting. I left the air there because I thought Michael's going to come up with the Leeds response to this. And that's the Leeds response. I get it. I understand the Leeds thing. I said on the match ball, there is a big asterisk here, which is we've been through all this before so many times. But I don't think that applies to this season. I'm happy, very happy, when we go into the into the international break with another 2 defeats to sit here with a vast amount of egg on my face. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think that's the case this time.
I think the problem is we think we're terminally broken, and we're not. Do you know what? It wasn't always like this at Leeds. You know, even going back to like 91, 92, for example, when we won the league, it all looked bleak. We lost to Man City 4-0. Everyone thought it was over, and it still turned around. Everyone came back from the COVID break under Bielsa and went, oh, shit, because we lost at Cardiff, and then we just won every other game, right?
We drew with Luton, actually.
Just about every other game and won the league and ended up winning it by 10 points. So I think it's just, we need to escape this idea that what happened in the last two games, like you were saying, Dean, and Chris Wilder saying, is like that it was somehow extraordinary. It's not. It's entirely ordinary for the division. It feels horrible. Yeah. It feels horrible when you've opened up a gap and go, right, just go win it now. And actually, it's more difficult than that. It's more difficult than that. Yeah. But it wasn't extraordinary. As soon as we embrace the fact that what happened in the last two games is entirely ordinary for this division, that's when magical things will happen. But if we get caught up on the idea, I think that we're somehow forever broken and can never be unbroken, I think that's the direction that madness lies in.
Completely agree. Just something I want to flag up for anyone who's not watching on YouTube, anyone who's listening to this. Some of the eye rolling that Michael Normanton is doing in the studio is remarkable. You'll be able to hear his eyes in the back of his head from Beeston Hill, I bet.
I can sometimes let the vibe take me. I've got to be honest. From thinking we were pitching the league a while ago.
He's a vibesman.
I'd noticed that, yeah. I'd noticed that in you.
He's an engineman.
I was very upset at the weekend.
I'd allowed myself to believe that we might be different this time in the sense that we might just extend a gap. And actually, it came as a bit of an annoying shock that we didn't.
Do you know,
but also, it's entirely typical, isn't it, in this division, like you're saying?
Admittedly ahead of playing Sunderland and Sheffield United, I'd gone through the results that I thought would happen to this point, and I actually did have us in second at this point.
Right.
I thought we'd be a point behind. So in some ways, it's actually turned out better than I initially predicted, but stuff's happened in between, hasn't it? And now it feels...
It's your recency bias,
and now it feels loads worse.
Yeah, I know, I get it totally.
Because I was like, okay, well, there's difficult games, maybe draw a couple of them. Portsmouth away, I think I had down as a draw, actually. So I did have dropped points in these predictions, but they've just not quite occurred where I thought they would.
Do you know what it is? I'm sick of the constant psychodrama with Leeds. It tires me out. And I know we do this for a living and our jobs and livelihoods are tied to the fortunes of the football club. And yes, in the last 24 hours, I might have contemplated stopping all this and living in the woods and never going back to Elland Road again. But I can't wait for Wednesday. We just need to, it's fine. Shit happens.
Are you sick of the Leeds United melodrama, or are you entirely addicted to it?
Both.
Okay.
Both, yeah.
It's the nature of addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need it, but you hate it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we tried being boring earlier this season and it's shit.
Yeah.
And as you said, like on the show with Bryn on Monday, actually, a bit of jeopardy is good as long as things go right for us in the end.
I mean, ideally, we'd win the league with the last kick of the season.
Yeah.
Because that'd make it for the best story, for the best memories. But the actual...
living it.
The actual practicality of getting there means you hate most of your life until the last kick of the season.
Is everything all right at home?
And then you go, that was all fine, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is everything all right at home?
It's fine, yeah. Yeah. Apart from me. I'm the main issue, of course.
Just leave you to it.
Yeah. I'm trying my best to put a wall between Leeds United and the rest of stuff. But it's not easy.
How's that going?
Easy. Yeah. It's fine, isn't it, for the most part.
My dependents at home tried to engage me in this on Sunday afternoon when I went home. I was like, look, I said, I'm not being offhanded when I say this. I just don't want to talk about it. I think I've mentally dealt with it now. I feel a bit sad about it. It'll only make me feel more sad if we try and engage on this. So can we just not? And they respected my decision.
Nice.
Yeah.
When I got in, my missus said, did you win? I said, no, we got beat. And I must have had a face of thunder because she said, he's still top of the league. I said, yeah. She went, I'll be fucking right then, wasn't it? And that's kind of what I've tried to take forward into my week.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, Farke's not worrying anyway.
He's not, is he? He's not.
He is really, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think the problem is if people within the club have shit the bed at this point with 10 games to go when we're top, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And I totally understand the anxiety. Of course I do, because I do share it. But equally, do you know what? You don't need to make yourself feel any worse about this. Just see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. But he did... there was a bit of a rallying cry, I suppose, in the post-match press conference.
Yeah, he was just saying how, the crowd needs to get behind us. If we win our home games, we're almost there. These are all things we know to be true. And he's right. And I think... while it is almost impossible to not let circumstances bother you while you're in the stadium, clearly the nervousness won't help, will it? So if it's just a good atmosphere, it will make a difference.
That's why I'm really looking forward to it.
The Portsmouth crowd, I think, made a difference at the weekend. while they did ride their luck, I think it was, even on telly, it came across as being quite loud. Leeds fans were quite loud as well by the sounds of it. So it was a lively atmosphere.
Because Wednesday night, it's got that slight little hint now that's been added to the cauldron, the mix of desperation, and I think Elland Road thrives under those circumstances. So the nerves will never be too far away from the surface, and I'm fairly sure Millwall will try and turn the crowd and exploit that if they're capable of doing that. That is, hopefully we just score early and run away with it. But the crowd always rises to it. When Leeds need a lift, they'll deliver it on Wednesday, I think. It's
got jeopardy. It's finally got jeopardy. Think back to the Cardiff game, 7-0, zero jeopardy. That so much of this season at Elland Road hasn't had that. Those final moments against Sunderland had it. Now is the time for us on the stands to prove why we are we make Elland Road the best place to be on a under the lights.
Yeah.
And drag us to a 1-1 draw.
Well, I suspect that there won't be the same noise from the away end. I do not imagine Millwall's fans will travel in any significant numbers, having been here for the FA Cup game just a few weeks ago, and their season is now all but over. They've got a difficult run.
Is that because you, Dan Moylan, are saying they're a bunch of part-time soft lads?
Your words, Michael, not mine. Your words.
I think that's what you've said before, but
yeah.
Just thought.
If you carry on down this path, I will just dox you and just.
I mean, our names are literally on everything, so I mean, it's fine.
Just dox you and post your address in Ponty to.
Look, if Millwall wants to come and beat me up, no, I've got a bad back, and it would be unfair.
For what it's worth, I slipped a bit awkwardly this week, and I fully Normantoned my back.
Fair enough.
It hurts. Yeah.
Dean, you prepared to fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'll break both my wrists, but
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to throw 2 punches.
Yeah.
Snap, and then I'll see you down the LGI.
Very weak childhood wrists.
Tiny, weak childhood wrists.
Broken both, didn't you?
Broken both, saving 2 penalties as a 10-year-old, yeah.
What a hero. What a hero. Not like that turncoat Kinnear who's just running off to Everton at the first opportunity.
Boo.
Yeah, get your new stadium, have you, Angus? Enjoy yourself.
Can ask Adam Pope about that, can't we?
Yeah, we're going to speak to Popey on Thursday morning. That'll be out on Friday on the West Stand, so look out for that.
Cannot escape Angus Kinnear, can he?
There's a point. He loves a new stadium, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Kinnear.
We haven't got one.
No.
Maybe that's why he's gone. He's like, you promised me something shiny and lovely and new.
Yep. So he's going at the end of the season, is Angus. Been here for 8 years. 8 years. Why does he get to escape and we don't?
Good question. Gets well paid, gets to leave. Not fair, is it?
No.
Are we advocating to make him stay? It seems unnecessary, doesn't it?
Getting into the chain to a radiator territory.
It's either that or next season this becomes an Everton podcast. Don't fancy that.
No, not for me.
No, so that's it then. That no more, unless we demand an exit interview. Have we got the right to do that? So no more summer interviews with.
Might be the one where he spills it all.
Right.
Tells us the real truth.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But it'll probably not set him up that well for continuing to work in football. That's very much.
Oh my God, he's absolutely betrayed his previous employer.
He's gone in with 2 feet. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Mind you, it makes him harder to sack at Everton. You're like, you saw what I did at the last place.
Yeah.
You don't want that again.
The man's out of control in many ways.
You'd say so.
Yeah. Peter McCormick has been brought in as his replacement. Don't know how short, medium, long term that is.
I mean, he's 72.
Right.
So I would say fairly short term.
Right.
Ken lasted till he was about 80, didn't he? At the club, still going strong. I was going to say, unfortunately, then. Good for him.
So, the club statement said, the club is also delighted to welcome Peter McCormick, who has resigned from his current roles at the Premier League and will be joining the club as executive vice chairman. Bringing his experience as the former chair of both the Premier League and the FA, McCormick will support Chairman Parag Marate and other senior executives regarding strategic planning, stadium redevelopment and commercial matters, and will represent the club in key meetings. Sounds to me a little bit like Parag Marate's boots on the ground there.
Yeah, and he's got a hell of a lot of experience as this guy as well as a solicitor, and he's done loads of different jobs in the FA and the Premier League, and he seems qualified for it.
Seems like a good get, even if it is short term.
Been around before, hasn't he? Some years back when things perhaps weren't as glorious at Elland Road, but
a lot of experience. You would hope that a sports lawyer would be sensible enough to make decent decisions, both on a business and football inside of things. I think this sounds like a promising and grown-up appointment. It's not like it's just Parag Marate's mate who he's bringing in. So this sounds like a a decision of a grown-up football team, which I don't mind because we've had a lot of years where it hasn't felt like that.
Mm.
And it's someone who actually knows, for want of a better phrase, knows the game a bit in this country, because the summer appointments have all been Americans, haven't they, who've not worked in football before. So it seems like having someone who knows the stuff domestically would make a bit of sense here as well.
Yeah,
so,
my mind just went.
Obviously, we'll grow to hate him,
right,
which is fine.
Yep. Yeah, my mind just went to a scenario in which Andrea Radrizzani's still in charge, and because his kit, obviously, his son did the kit design that time. Does he evolve from the merchandising angle and gets put in charge of the whole lot?
All right, or maybe I'll let them redesign the stadium at least.
Yeah.
Do some mad child stuff with it.
We turn up and it's fucking built out of Duplo or something.
Everyone's got a PlayStation on the seat.
A zoo hung above the pitch or something.
Wow,
could be an option.
You think?
I think that's from when I saw some boxing in it'll be in Saudi Arabia, I guess, and they had someone performing in what looked like a cage above the ring.
Right.
Just thought maybe you could do something
with a load of animals.
No, it was just a singer.
Oh, you've just merged some ideas.
I'm just merging some ideas. Yeah.
Have you watched the film
Creative.
Gladiator recently? By the way, is that what?
Do you know? I've never seen it.
Have you not?
No.
Because they bring out tigers from underneath the floor of
You're
the
joking.
Colosseum. Yeah.
Proper tigers as well before this woke CGI bullshit.
Yeah.
Were the tigers or lions, or did they get both?
I didn't ask him.
All right.
No.
They were lions, yeah. Good shout.
I think lions rather than tigers.
No, well, they had tigers in that. I think they're the stripy ones, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
they? Yeah. So,
Right.
Got mauled by the tigers.
The tigers.
although how that would work with a snow leopard already on the premises,
Oh, yeah.
so we've got to think about that.
Turf wars.
Yeah. Got to be careful.
Be a bloodbath.
Got to be careful. Anything else to chat about before we head into part two?
Do you want a Bamford injury update?
Go on then. Is it that Patrick Bamford's not ready?
He's partially returned to team training.
Partially.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Is that when you like partially return to work after you've been off ill?
I think he might just be playing in net for a bit. You know,
Right.
like in five-a-side, if you're a bit injured, go in net.
Maybe
Maybe that's how he's returned.
maybe he's been helping put the cones out.
Yeah, doing some bit of this, bit of that.
Handing bibs.
Just helping out.
Yeah.
Being there.
Partially back in.
But, you know, maybe we'll come back from the international break with all of them fit,
Right.
because Ampadu and Verba are the other two.
Right.
Farker ruled them out until after the international break, which is not exactly new. But Bamford, we will see.
What Patrick Bamford's contribution between now and the end of the season is likely to be, I've got an open mind about, but I really would like Ethan Ampadu back, because our form has dipped at a time when he's been absent. So I'm prepared to say that's the sole reason for it. Never mind your spreadsheets, never mind your average points per game, never mind your rolling league position, none of that.
Well, he's probably the first name on the team sheet when he's fit, and he's our captain. So it stands to reason that we would be missing him a lot, doesn't it? So, yeah, get back.
And ironically, the first name on the team sheet is probably Elan Melier.
Yeah. But we have to just get over that, don't we?
One thing we do know is that Jayden Bogle's not going to be rested, despite being very close to a yellow card ban.
Yeah. It's
Is it 2 games he gets banned for if he picks up another? Or is
Yeah.
it,
I guess two.
right.
If we are in the lead against Millwall and he has not yet been booked, I suspect he'll be taken off.
I think it did affect slightly how he was playing at the weekend. That might be me projecting my fear of him getting a booking and getting a suspension onto him, and maybe he was just up against a good player in Murphy, and particularly in the first half. But it felt like it was affecting some of his decision making a little bit. Yeah, it's difficult. But I for what he gives us going forward, I think you've got to keep him in the team, especially at home, especially against Millwall, especially when we really craving that sweet victory.
Can I suggest a rule change which is in no way influenced by wanting to weaken an opponent? James Trafford has had 7 yellow cards this season. I'm going to suggest that the mark for goalkeepers getting banned for yellow cards should be a lot lower, because you can only really get banned for time wasting as a goalkeeper, or occasionally for bringing someone down. But you're very unlikely, like the average goalkeeper doesn't really get booked in a season at all, do they? Maybe they might get 1 or 2, but their mark for hitting a ban is the same as outfield players, and that is unfair. So Trafford should be banned for at least 2 games.
I've got a theory that ban, he'll hit the 10 threshold over the next few games and he'll be banned for the Sheffield United game. 3 from the end.
Okay.
Trafford will.
Yeah.
But with that we almost don't want him banned for that, because it doesn't make any difference, probably.
Right.
It'd be better if he was banned for some other games. Ban him now.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Ban him for
Russia rule through that suggests that 3 games is the mark for a goalkeeper, and he's got 7, so call it a 3-game ban.
Right.
That starts tonight.
Although they have, IFAB have, that's the refs board, isn't it? They've approved the rule change where it will be, if the keeper holds on to it, it's 8 seconds, I think, it'll be a corner.
I noticed the Portsmouth keeper held onto it for 30 seconds at the weekend at one point.
Right.
I was absolutely livid. I know because I've just listened to the Football Clichés podcast on the way in, and Brentford fans were counting down. Aston Villa goalkeeper holding onto the ball.
We did that in fairly recent memory.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. 1,
they got
2,
they got as high as
3.
20.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where that goes next season.
They should put, like in basketball, you get the shot clock in basketball, so that's your new sport now.
Of course.
Shot clock in basketball, and they have there's the play clock as well, isn't there, in NFL?
Yeah.
So do we do that? There's a big clock behind the net.
Well, did you hear how the referees are going to enforce this?
They're going to tick their arm, aren't they?
They're going to tick their arm from right above their heads. They're going to count 3 seconds in their head, and then for the final 5 seconds, they're going to tick their arm.
Right.
To show when he's got to release
like
it.
one of those mad bastards with the lollipops at the airport.
Sort of,
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Guiding the planes in.
You would think hand above your head with all your digits out would suffice, because he's not going to be that far away.
Right.
But no, they're going to tick it around. How strange is that?
What if a referee doesn't have hands?
We can organise a prosthetic.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I think the tick will be interesting to watch, though. Be a nice little spectacle next season. As everyone will still be then going back and going, oh, he's counted that wrong. People going out, it was 4.8 seconds.
Yeah.
You know where this has come from, don't you? Like, they stride out the yards when they're measuring 10 yards. Surely AI could figure it out for them now or something, no? Shine a laser beam, like that, as to where the 10-yard mark is.
More laser beams.
So more laser beams. And they could do that. But they're doing the same thing because they count the strides. They'll be doing it with the arm.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
It's my theory. Right then, the second half of the show is where we pick a hero and villain of the week. Great. Gitano Baradi Hero of the Week, sponsored by the TukTukClub.com, will be second. First will be the Ken Bates Villain of the Week award. We need to pile some data into the machine, that machine being us 3. I suppose a bit like the human centipede. Oh. Three operating as one. Yeah,
Okay.
As a single organism.
Bagsy front.
Shit.
Bagsy back.
Oh, fuck. I'm in real bother now.
Hold on a minute. Is back the best
No,
place
it's the
to
worst.
be?
It's the worst.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I think you'll die first. Oh, God, what an image. We need to factor in our player ratings from the last 7 days. Do that, please. Somebody put some numbers into this shit machine.
Junior Firpo was fine. Everyone was terrible.
Right. So the high watermark was Firpo at 5.13 out of 10. Average marks from our TSB Plus members, should say. So thanks for sending those in.
Brendy,
Oh.
Pirro, and Melier, not good.
Yeah, Brendy had a low of 2.58, which feels very low.
Antonaka, 3.72.
Oh, my boy.
That's got to be a season low for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely has to be. And he wasn't good, was he?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
At what point do we actually start looking at Player of the Year? Because we've not really dealt with it much this season. We just put the average scores on the sheet.
Well, if we don't go up, no one's having it.
Right.
So I think that's fine.
We'll just bring it out sort of 5 games from the end or whatever, yeah, when it...
Yeah.
We got distracted by it last year, I think. So subs fared slightly better to a certain extent.
But is that just because they weren't as guilty because they weren't around for the first 70 minutes?
Yeah, Matteo Joseph 3.38, Joe Rothwell 4.51. So they're actually right in the middle of it all. Farker got 3.31. Rob Jones, the dickhead ref, 1.49 out of 10. That's quite a low, isn't it?
A definite villain nomination, because that was, I thought, quite a clear penalty.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have sympathy with the referee, don't you? Because you can go, I can see why he's giving. But actually, I think most people watching that went, he booted him. Then you saw a replay and you went, yeah, he's booted him.
Yeah.
And you can see what they did as well. Like when we were on TV, on ITV, against Sheffield Wednesday, also on a Sunday lunchtime, they brought out one of the Premier League select group refs for that, didn't they? So what they like to do is they put one of the select group refs in for the bigger televised performances because they know the TV audience will be higher, the scrutiny will be higher. You can see what they're doing. And then they still churn out shit like that. I've got marginally more annoyed at the ref just because I want somewhere to direct my blame, I think.
Yeah, same. I was the same with the West Brom game, in fairness. I think he was probably not that bad, but I was just left the ground annoyed with him because I just wanted something better to have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, if we talk at length about the decisions that Meslier and Road and Strauch were making, and there was various mistakes in there that led to their goal. Massive mistake from the ref. Like, if we're going to get into it about our own players to that sort of detail, instead of just going, "Oh, it's a nice ball over the top, good finish." Ref's made a howler there. It's a free kick. It's one of those. It's a free kick anywhere else on the pitch, and I think probably into the second half that's a pen. I think he gives it as a pen. I don't know what he was thinking.
Or Elland Road.
Yeah,
is the other thing. If it's, it is harder to give penalties away from home, generally speaking.
Slightly,
I would say. But
I want to stand up for Joe Rodon a little bit. He got 4.74. I think he's been brilliant over the last few games, and I didn't think he was that bad in this game.
That's the second top score, we should say.
Second top score, but I think he for me, it would have eclipsed Junior's 5.13.
Yeah, it maybe depends who. I guess some people will have blamed him more for the goal than I. I'm inclined to put it on Meslier more than Rodon, but that's probably just due to stuff I've seen in the past.
If I was in a room with Rodon, Strauch and Meslier, I'd walk in there and say, "All y'all," like that, quite in a sassy manner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's all I've got on it.
I think you mentioned the TV kickoffs. Early kickoffs need nominating for villain. We keep playing them. We keep being shit in them. It's not fair that we have so many. Stop it.
Yeah.
They're not going to, though.
No, they're not. They're not.
Because we've got another one on the weekend.
It's only going to get worse, isn't it? It's only going to get worse.
A like for Sam Chambers, who on his 18th birthday got a nice new contract for 3 years.
What did you get for your 18th?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Cider.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, mine was slap bang in the middle of my A-levels. So I got to go to the pub and use my official ID.
Nice.
The pub that would never let us in. Like, pubs around Bradford, fine, you can go in from when you're like 15 or something like that. But there was one, it was called the Sycamores. It's now a nursery. A lot of pubs have been converted into kids' little day centres and nurseries. And Sycamores they just would not let you in underage. And on my 18th birthday, I proudly...
Bloody squares, not letting kids in.
What are kids supposed to do if not booze heavily? And I walked up there proudly on my 18th birthday and ordered a pint. Didn't even get my bloody ID checked on my birthday. But it was in the
tell you were carrying yourself differently.
Yeah, look at him. He looks 18. But I had like a couple of pints. Then we all basically sloped off home because we had exams the next couple of days. And that was it. That was the end of it. Happy 18th, everyone.
Lovely.
Well, you didn't get a contract from Leeds United anyway.
No.
So it just goes to show what a complete letdown you were.
And I look forward
did shit in my A-levels as well. Couldn't be arsed.
I look forward to, in a few years' time, Sam Chambers being a dislike because we've pinned all our hopes onto him as a youngster, and he turns out not to be the next coming of Gary Speed, and so we write him off.
I think Harry Gray is that person, actually.
Yeah.
Because Chambers is 18. He's kind of, in some ways, he's already over the hill.
Oh, he's past it.
He's finished.
Yeah.
At 18.
Right, wow.
What's he done this season? Nothing.
Yeah. Again, I feel like we're having a little glimpse into
an impact.
I feel like we're having a little glimpse into Normanton's life here. Finished at 18. That's it. He's peaked.
So there was no hope. I knew where it was going.
It was a very low peak.
I'd like to nominate as a villain as well Luton. We mentioned Angus Kinnear already, but you know when you're keeping an eye on what's going on in other games, that Burnley game, you did just look at it and go, "Oh, red card is the 90. Well, that's done.
You've thrown it.
Brilliant. Not even a straight red, 2 yellows. What an absolute fucking idiot. 2 yellow cards within 20 minutes.
You're always talking about getting your money's worth for red cards. 2 yellows within 20 minutes is not money's worth.
Yeah, didn't even try.
And their second bottom, 5 points adrift.
Good. I hope they go down for that offence.
They will.
For throwing it in. Where did at the start of the season I'd have put them like up there as playoff contenders and maybe even bothering the top 2.
And they've come down with parachute payments, and because they were only up there for 1 year, they only get 2 years of parachute payments rather than 3. So they've got such an advantage, and they'll have such an advantage in League One at this rate. But maybe it's all going on the stadium.
Maybe so. They've got. Well, I guess Birmingham and Wrexham probably might get out this year.
I mean, why bother investing in your infrastructure when you could have bought, I don't know, Rasmus Christensen, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mark Rocker.
Proper investments.
Yeah. Solid investments.
Go back far enough. Robbie Fowler.
Yep.
That's what we burnt through some stadium money on him, didn't we, as well?
Didn't need him, did we?
Nah, not really.
No, we did not. We did not. Who other villain nominees have we got then?
I mean,
do we want to turn the spotlight on our own players at this stage, or do we want to try and back them and hope that they emerge from this?
I think it can be both. Both of those can exist. Yeah, we have to mention Joel Piroux, because if he takes just one of those, it's a different game. And like I said again on the match ball, and I'll reiterate it here, I want him in that position every single time. Just because he missed the first one, I want him in the position for the second one, and then he ended up missing the second one. But he's been great for us this season, regardless of what you think about his languid manner. And I'm sure he'll go on to score plenty of goals for us, but in that moment, it didn't help us. So, Joel Piroux, what are you doing, mate?
Right.
Is my official line on it.
Do we want to just officially put him on notice, and the defenders and Meslier again, rather than
a verbal warning?
Formal written warning.
Oh, right. Okay.
For me, Meslier is already in. He's in isolation.
Right.
He's close to exclusion. His parents have been in a few times.
Right.
It's not on anymore, this. You've got to be better.
Right.
I know you could argue he recovered a bit from the mistakes, but like the Sheffield United game, I was thinking back to that, and if they score again in that first half when he was flapping around, then I feel like he's being viewed differently here. And actually, it was just the actions of other people that stopped goals being scored in those. Gruev heads one off the line, doesn't it? Because in all the panic that ensues from it, I've lost the plot with him this season. I can no longer tolerate him, but we're going to have to, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, best of luck.
Wow.
Elland. I don't know. It's almost pointless to keep saying it, but at the same time, it's like at the front of my head. most of the season is like, we need someone better than this. Why are we still doing this? Why must we persist with someone who causes us problems most weeks? But here we are
Again, another little glimpse into your home life.
Another villain that I want to put forward is Emi Buendia for choosing Champions League football with Leverkusen over us. Because if he was in the building and we had another option for number 10, we wouldn't be enduring Brendy's dip in form. So maybe it is Emi Buendia /
He's not even having a good time over there, is he?
Well, exactly.
He's not played much.
He could be having a horrible time with us instead.
Apparently been falling out with people.
Well.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to put him forward, please.
Plenty to go out this week in terms of villain of the week. Is it going to be? Or what's it going to be?
Give it to the ref.
I think
It feels like low hanging fruit. It feels like it doesn't get to probably the heart of what's gone on this week. I think it's fine.
What about the character with the drum?
Oh, and the bell.
And the bell for bringing the game into disrepute.
He shouldn't be allowed in with the bell.
No. It's a weapon, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
So's the drum.
Bear in mind, you're not allowed a bottle of water with a lid on, but you're allowed to take a big metal bell into a stadium.
And the drum's not a small object. If you catch the corner of that, say to a 7-year-old's eye,
yeah,
he's in bad shape.
There could have been explosives in that drum.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, could have been a knife. There could have been a man carrying a knife in the drum.
Right.
Think about that.
Folded into the drum.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
makes you think that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, exactly.
Villainy.
Okay. It's the drum, is it?
Fine. Drums, I mean, it's a good atmosphere at Portsmouth, and it's generally like a nice old school ground. So you don't need a drum anyway. Do without it.
Yeah.
So instead of it being the people bringing the drum and the bell, it's the actual drum and the bell.
And the ref for tolerating it.
Fine. Surely
he could have said something about it. It's distracting. Or that bell's putting me off my whistling or whatever. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Drum, bell, ref.
Fine.
Sorted.
Right. The Gitano Variety Hero of the Week, sponsored by the TukTukClub.com. Made a mistake with the read for the Tuk Tuk Club last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You know how we were speculating? I said, what are Tuk Tuks powered on?
Yeah.
And I said red diesel. Bruce from the TukTukClub.com, who's a Leeds fan who runs it, who owns it, pointed out they would never run on red diesel. They would run on white, yellow and blue diesel.
Hey, very good. And probably not diesel either.
No.
Probably petrol.
Right. Anyway, that's that. Great driving holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be nice, won't it?
Yeah. If you want to go see the jungles of northern Thailand, have a look with the TukTukClub.com, TSB 15 for a 15% discount on your booking.
Why not book it right in the middle of the season for next year?
Do you think that if you'd have watched the game on Sunday, but in beautiful towering forests with winding mountain roads and pristine waterfalls, would you have felt as bad?
What, served with authentic cooking and elephants around?
Absolutely, yeah. Would you have felt as bad, or would it have lightened everything because of your environment?
It would have probably helped, or I might have just taken it out on an elephant.
Just a sawn-off shotgun to the side of an elephant.
I'm sure I don't think that's part of the trip. I've got to be honest.
Is it not? Let me have a look. Oh no, apparently
Different kind of holiday, that.
TheTugTugClub.com for details. Yeah, TSB 15 for a 15% discount on your booking. More Leeds fans getting over there as well, which I think is good for Bruce because he can talk about football, which is obviously great at the minute. Right, who's your hero of the week? Who's your candidates?
It's very tenuous. I'm going to put Bogle forward because a few games ago I thought it was absolutely nailed on that he was going to have a 2-game suspension.
Well, you fucked it now, haven't you?
But he's keeping it at bay. Or have I just ruined it?
Wait until next week when he's kept it at bay.
Okay, yeah. So we'll keep that in my back pocket.
Patrick Bamford for his almost return to fitness, for looking after the cones.
For partially joining in.
Yeah.
Wow, that's real participation medal stuff, isn't it?
I have to admit, you know that footage that did the rounds of him allegedly being at a trampoline park with his kids? That's featured more prominently in my thinking than maybe I expected it to. I just can't get that image of him bouncing around on a trampoline because it looks like him bouncing around on a trampoline. Don't know why.
Is it that you can't believe he didn't injure himself in the process?
Sort of, just like, well, is this the life of an injured or sideline footballer? Just going to a trampoline park and
Well, they have normal lives, don't they?
Yeah.
To an extent, you still got to go to these places.
Did we discuss on this show that I nearly did myself quite a serious injury when I went down on my face in the trampoline park?
Oh no, what happened?
Well, have you ever tried? If you go in these trampoline parks, and you'll get this, Dean.
There's one on Lowfields Road. If anyone wants to tie in a trip to Elland Road with the trampoline park visit.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. It was the one.
I'm just clawing after a freebie, really.
Oh, right.
Great bunch of lads in there.
One at Kirkstall anyway, but I went and if you ever tried running across a series of trampolines, you know they obviously lay them all out in a big grid. Once you get going, it's very hard to stop.
I could just imagine your little legs going.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit! It's like a snowball rolling downhill, and when you set off going, I don't know if maybe the springs impart more power into your legs, but yeah, about 5th or 6th trampoline, that was it. I just went straight onto my face,
right.
To the extent where a young man who, obviously they've seen people fall over in there, was quite concerned for my welfare.
Just get carried out on a backboard.
Did he describe you as having had a fall?
Yeah. It was really, really. It's the sort of thing they would have looked at on the CCTV and laughed at.
Why didn't you ask for it?
Because I didn't want to.
Oh, that's a shame.
Anyway, enough about that.
Another hero
Go on.
that I'm going to put forward. Have you guys seen the video from the official Leeds United YouTube where a young fan is interviewing Matteo Joseph?
Oh, yeah.
That was quite sweet. And he seems like he's great. He's called Cruz Canning, which is a great name as well. The young man interviewing, Firpo and Joseph. And he's just chuffed to fucking bits to be there. And it was just really nice. In a week where we've had 2 less than nice results, just nice, heartwarming to see a young man's dreams come true.
We'll break him soon.
It won't last.
Is that a threat?
No. Don't have the will. Not the will to beat up kids anymore. Just lost
your passion for it, haven't you? It's not like it used to be.
Just send them to Elland Road. We'll psychologically break them.
Right, cool.
CCTV just ruined it for me.
All these ring doorbells make it impossible now.
Go around the neighbourhood, beating the shit out of kids. Oh, dear me. Sorry, so is that young man having our hero of the week for having a nice time?
I'm struggling to think of anyone else.
Maybe Tanaka is human?
No. It's not the week for him.
No, I agree. Yeah, fine. Give it to him.
The boy.
The hero is yet to emerge, we'll say that much.
Okay.
Because we're still to play. We're doing this now because of the way the week has fallen.
Yeah, so the match ball will be out Thursday, propaganda Wednesday, right, yeah.
So
I'll tell you what then.
It's yet to happen.
Let's take a controversial step. Let's park it and then forget to come back to it later in the week.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're taking it off this 7-year-old boy.
He can look after it for now.
Okay.
And then we will snatch it out of his hands. You know when you see like a kid, like when
taking candy from a baby?
Yeah, when they throw, like a player will throw a shirt into a crowd at the end
Dan's
of the game.
coming along, dead arm, take it off him.
Yeah.
Bang.
And a kid catches it and his little face lights up. Yeah. Forearm, face, take the shirt, off you go.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, I was being at a basketball man at the weekend. They had a t-shirt cannon at the final. You know, you've probably seen them on.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. They'd miscalibrated this thing horrendously. And I'm not joking, they fired on. And it hit the fucking roof of the arena at such a pace that if it had hit someone's face, I genuinely think it might have knocked them out.
Oh, Jesus.
You so sorry, it like went boom, made a big hollow thud on the roof, and I thought, yeah, don't fire another one of those.
Did it shake the roof? There was loads of frisbees and dust and shit fell out of the roof.
It reminds me, back in the nightclub days, we used to hire, you could get like confetti cannons and stuff, you know, for like big occasions, New Year or whatever. I remember we hired some confetti cannons and obviously fired the confetti out of them. But then at the end of the night, people started firing different objects out of it. And I tell you what, a lemon can do a lot of damage out of a compressed air cannon.
Wow.
But don't do that, because that'd be bad.
Was that when you used to do the lemon party stuff?
Correct. Yeah. Me and those two fellas.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. We'll wrap it up there, shall we? Are we deferring the decision on the hero of the week?
Fine.
It's pending, yeah.
Right. Speak to you in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.